Hi everyone, welcome to our week 4 of our MS exercise program that we're doing at the moment online and very kindly funded by MS Auckland. So I'll just give a moment just for those participants who are joining us live, just to pop up online as well. We've got a few of you joining us live, and as always this is being recorded and the recording is going to be available both on the MS Get a Head Start YouTube channel and also the MS Auckland website as well. So hopefully, I think we've got everyone who's going to be joining us live who's joined now. So welcome, my name is Gilly Davey. If anyone is joining us for the first time, either via the recording or via live, I am a senior neurological physio. I own a practice here in Auckland called Connect Neurophysiotherapy, and I'm the founder of a program called, here we go, MS Get a Head Start, which is a really innovative, high-intensity behavioural change program to help individuals with MS really maximise their quality of life. So some of the principles from that program we're putting into this 8-week live and recorded video session that we're doing for MS Auckland. So over the 8 weeks, I'm talking about the 6 core principles that we utilise in our program. So on our we are 4th session today, that's right, on our 4th session today, so we are halfway, is that we are talking about challenge. It's our next one. So what you will need, okay, is something for on the floor, for our floor work, so a mat or a nice padded rug or something, and a sturdy chair for your exercises. Just health and safety, as we always mentioned before, I haven't had the pleasure of meeting you all in person, so I don't know where your limitations or restrictions may be, so please only participate in the exercises that you know you are safe to do so. None of these exercises should cause you any pain or discomfort, so if anything does, please stop doing them immediately. Okay, if there's an exercise that we do that you can't do, you can just follow in with either doing something that we've already done that you know you can do before. Now this program is designed for those individuals who do have the capability to get on and off the floor themselves. If you're not able to do that, then this program is potentially going to be a little bit too demanding for you. You're welcome to watch and see which exercises you can do, but otherwise please go along to the MS Get a Head Start website, and on our news section there is free recordings of a program specifically designed for those whose mobility is less able. So what we're going to do is start with a bit of a warm-up, and then we are going to do 9 exercises, so same as the other week. So we're going to do each exercise 3 times. So I will demonstrate it so you can watch and listen to exactly how it should be done, give you time to get into position, and then we're going to do an exercise for 30 seconds. Recover, rest for 30 seconds, and repeat that exercise 3 times. We're going to do the exercises in blocks of 3, so that in between each set of 3, we're also going to get a little bit longer rest, what I taught you about, that principle of challenge in your exercise program. So I'll just make sure we've got a good video set up for the warm-up, so I'll just bring you back a little bit. All right, fabulous. So hopefully you can see me well. Excellent. I went on a bit of a diagonal. There we go, just straightening up a little bit. Okay, so let's just start with a bit of warm-up there. You can do the warm-up here, and we're going to do this in standing. So if you want to have a chair beside of you or behind the chair for some stability, please do so. So we're just going to start with a bit of marching on the spot. If you can, swing those arms as well. This is great. If you're holding on, you can just be swinging one arm, okay? All right, we're now going to try and take that into higher knees. We'll bring those knees up towards your chest. Good, and now we're going to go wide and in narrow. Wide step, in narrow, wide step, in narrow. Okay, we're now going to just, I've just turned side on so you can see me, but we're now going to do a little back step and forward. So I'm doing a little push off, okay, my toes, and let's see if we can get a little bit of an arm swing going with this leg action as well. Excellent. Okay, give the ankles a little bit of a circle, and the other one. Okay, we're going to give the wrists a bit of a circle. Okay, we're going to give those arms a nice big sweep up overhead. We're going to sweep them forwards. Okay, now we're going to sweep them backwards. Great, we're going to take those legs really nice and wide, hands out nice and wide, and you're going to turn, bring your hand to touch the other hand. So we're out wide, I'm going to bring my right hand to my left hand, pivoting on my toes, come back out wide. Left to right, out wide, right to left, out wide, left to right. So just nice and opening up that chest, in a little movement. Now we're going to go right hand down to left foot, bend your knees as much as you need to, come back up, left hand down to right foot, back up. So bend your knees as you need to, just adding in a little bit of back mobility, warm up those hamstrings and those glutes a little bit. If you can't come down to your feet, you can just come to your knees. Beautiful, and roll of the shoulders. Okay, and just drop that head down, nice big stretch of that back, up to the ceiling, and aside, and aside. All right, so that's got us nicely warmed up. So our first round of exercises are all going to involve the chair. Okay, so if you want to set yourself up with your chair, now do make sure you haven't already to grab your water. Okay, so we will be needing your ice cold water to keep that temperature down. Now, because I'm seated, I am just going to drop the camera down a little bit so that you can actually see my feet. Okay. So with here, okay, what we're going to do is dorsiflexion. So you're going to be lifting toes up and then down. What I might just do is I'm going to change this to side on because it'll be a bit easier for you to see side on. So I'm sat up nice and tall, I've kept the arch in my lower back, and I'm going toes up here. Now, if it's quite difficult to lift your toes up, just take them a little bit further away from you, and that will make it a little bit easier to not fighting your tight calf muscles as much. But if you can do them with your ankles directly below your knee, that is great. So we're going to do 30 seconds of this. Seems like an easy exercise, but trust me, 3 lots of 30 seconds, those shin muscles will be burning. So I'm just going to get our timer going, because that's going to help keep me to time, but also help you guys that I don't run over time. So we're going to go in 5 seconds. Okay, so we're going toes up and down. So you're pulling your toes up towards your shin. Do think about your posture, so shoulders back, okay, lower back arch, and just try and think about pulling those core muscles up. And I'm going at a decent pace with the tap. See if you can get a little bit of the tap going, noise-wise. 5 seconds to go. Great. If we need to stretch, you can just pop a foot behind the chair and give that a little bit of a stretch out, okay? And vice versa onto the other side as well. Okay, now you might have a toe or a foot that's not coming up very high. Okay, don't worry if it doesn't come up very high. The fact that you're trying to lift those feet is all that needs to happen, is even a thought of trying to help build the nerves. All right, we're ready to go again? Okay, off we go. Can you go a little bit faster? Can you pull those toes up a little bit higher? How high can we go? So trying to keep the pace up. Got 15 seconds. Good, we've got 5 to go. Beautiful, and relax there, okay? So again, you can pop your foot behind you if you want to have a little bit of a stretch, okay, of those shins. And we've got one more round of this dorsiflexion, and then we're going to really get the heart rate up with the next exercise, okay? There's a little bit more of a warm up. Okay, so we're getting ready to go in 5 seconds. Okay, up nice and tall. Off we go. So dorsiflexion again. Pulling those toes up really nice and high. Good, we've got 15 seconds to go. We're halfway. Ten to go. Good, excellent. So that's our first exercise done. So our second exercise is sit to stand. I'm just going to move my chair so I'm facing you a little bit more. Okay, so feet shoulders width apart at the edge of your chair. So we're coming up into a stand, okay, and then back down, okay. So up and down to sit. And you need to make sure you put the weight back on your bottom, okay. So it's not a squat when doing actual sit to stands. Now your hands can either be across your chest, held in front. If you can't quite get up, you can use your hands to help you. But the aim is not to have your hands to help you. I want you to really try and work your legs. Okay, so we're going to be doing sit to stands. Okay, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. Getting ready to go now. Okay. Good, so we're up and down. When you come up, really make sure you squeeze those glutes forward, shoulders back, so you are coming up completely straight each time. That's it, really squeeze those glutes up nice and tall. This is great, we've got 10 seconds to go. Good, well done, sit down. Okay. Have a drink if you need to, it's definitely got me a little bit more thirsty. What we did last week, guys, is that we counted in our second round how many you did in your second round, and then in our third round we tried to beat it. So let's try and do that. I remember I got about 17 in my second round last time. Right, so ready? Let's go. So counting how many you can do in your 30 seconds. Make sure you sit down each time. Good, keep going. We've got 10 to go. I got 17 in that time. So, however many you manage, so even if you only managed 4 or 5, let's everyone try and put at least one more on. If you can get 2 more, you're a superstar. I remember last time I was nowhere near 2 more. I think I only managed 1 last time. So you're try and really up the pace, get that heart rate up to see if you can get at least 1 to 2 more sit to stands in compared to that last set. This is your last one. Let's go. That's halfway. Good, and stop there. Whew. I definitely got a little bit of burn on. I think I got to, I think it was 19, because I lost count and I actually counted to 20, but I think where I lost count I added 1. So well done if you managed to do an extra 1. So our next one is actually now in standing behind your chair, okay? So just get yourself in position. So we're going to do calf raises. So what we're going to do is that the chair is just there for some stability, okay? Ideally, you're not leaning on there, it's just your fingertips, okay? So the first round is that up nice and tall. We're going to go up and down on both feet, okay? So that's what we're going to aim to do, up and down on both feet. The second round, we're going to do it on one leg, and the third round, we're going to do it on the other leg. Now, if you can't do it on one leg, then you can stay with the double legs, okay? So, We'll do this round of 3 and then we're going to have a little rest while I chat. Okay, so getting ready. Just fingertip support, up and down. So you're really trying to squeeze those calf muscles so you're coming up as high as you can, right onto your tiptoes. See if you can make sure that those toes are flat, so you're not clawing the ground with those toes. See if you can keep those toes flat. That's good, up and down. There's a nice strong muscle needed for walking. Okay, we've got 5 more seconds. You should be feeling a bit of a burn in those calves behind you. Excellent, well done. If you want to give them a little stretch out, you can just go into a little bit of a lunge stance. Keep your heel on the ground and just drop your knee a little bit. So this next round, you are going to stand on one leg. Okay, don't mind which leg you start with. Now, if you find one leg calf raise is difficult, you can either just do it on 2 legs, or what you can do is go up on both, then stand on one leg and lower it down. Okay, that's kind of halfway in between. So I'm going to stand on my right leg. So going up and down on one leg. Now, if you get to the point where we've got some failure, i.e. that your muscles will run out of juice, then just stop, okay? Have a couple of second rest and just see if you can then join us back in with that one leg calf raise, okay? You don't need to keep going for the whole 30 seconds. You just do as much as you can and then you stop and then you join us back in again when you can. Last couple. Good. Whew, I didn't really find one leg calf raise hard work. So this is a really important muscle to help our walking efficiency. That when you push off, you're supposed to push off your toes to walk through your calf muscle to power your walk forwards. So if your walking has slowed down, then you are probably not using your calf well enough, okay? So last round, onto your other leg now. Good, and we're going up and down on that other side. Good, we've got 15 to go now. I've definitely got one weaker than the other. This is harder work on my left side. Excellent. Okay, stop there, guys. Okay, have a drink. And I'm just going to talk to you a little. I'm going to come up to the camera and talk to you a little bit about our 6 core principles. So the MS Fit Head Start program utilises 6 core principles for exercise to really help ensure that you are covering what you need to make a difference. So the 6 include high intensity, so that's getting puffing and panting out of breath. Interval training, so short intervals with the same length of time rest. This means that you can achieve some high intensity work and also achieve some better strength training. We've got challenge, which is what I'm going to talk about today. Specificity, frequency, because you can't bank exercise, you have to do it regularly, and ultimately fun. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about challenge. So what challenge is ultimately to get better at something, it needs to be hard. Okay, when you start anything new, you don't start it as an expert. Okay, you always start something new down here, and then through practice, you get better at it. Okay, so when it comes to rehab exercises and general exercise, if you want to get your heart stronger, lungs stronger, want to get better muscles, want to lose some weight, want to improve your balance, want to be able to walk further, well, if all of your exercises that you do are comfortable for you, then you are not challenging the body, okay? There's no point that you are demanding more from the body for you to then get what we call a training adaptation or a training response to improve. So it's really common that people exercise in the sense of they participate in things which they can do. So you might have a regular walking loop, okay? Or you might go to a yoga or a Pilates class and you go, oh yeah, it's pretty good. I don't get out of breath. I don't get too sore afterwards. Don't get too hot and sweaty, and it's okay. Now, what that means to me is that your body's only fit and strong enough to cope with that amount. So when you want to be able to do more, then you don't have the baseline fitness or strength or neurological capability to do more, and hence why it's harder work. So this is the hard part about the exercise part, that if you found this easy, then it's not really going to change you. So you need to learn how to push your body hard, okay, to get into that uncomfortable zone to create the changes. But this is also where you might need to get that expert input for someone to really look at what bits, you know, have you fallen into a habit of doing, and how do you need to challenge yourself a little bit more. So I'll talk a little bit more about that in our next break, but what we're going to do now is come down onto the ground for our next round of exercises. So come and bring yourself down onto the ground, and we're going to start on your backs. Okay, so feel free just to stay near the camera at the moment to see what we're going to do. So we're going to do the dead bug, okay? So the dead bug has a couple of different variations. Okay, so variation number one, okay. Hands are pointing up to the ceiling, and this is where they always stay, okay, it's pointing straight up. Now, number one, so level one variation is just bringing a leg up into tabletop, back down, leg up into tabletop, back down, and you're ensuring that you've got your core muscles turned on, so your belly button's pulled your spine, and that you've put a little bit of pressure through your lower back on the floor. So there's not a big arch here, it's just a little bit of pressure here. So this is your level one. Your level two is that both legs are up in the tabletop position, and you're going to drop a heel, come back up, drop a heel, come back up. So this is level two, okay? And then level three is that one leg goes straight, the opposite arm goes straight over your head. So now I become really long, and then I come back to the middle. So I go really long, stretch out, straight leg stays off the ground, arm off the ground, come back to the middle, ensuring that that lower back does not come off the ground, okay? So there's 3 different levels to that one, so start with whichever one you want to. So you might try and start on the hardest, and if you get a bit of failure, then you can come back down to level 2, level 1, or you might start on level 1 and see if you can build yourself up. I will start on level 1 and just work through the 3 in the first set, just so to familiarise everyone again. So if you want to get down into position, all right, getting ready. Okay, so arms are up. So level 1, you just bring in one leg at a time to tabletop, ensuring that core muscles, pelvic floor are turned on, keeping the lower back in touch with the ground. Level 2, you're staying in tabletop and you're dropping a heel down, no weight through the heel, it just taps down and comes back up. And then if you're on to level 3, what you're doing is that nice long extension, coming back up. Long extension, back up, and rest. Well done. So if you want to think a little bit more about your breathing during this exercise, my recommendation is to breathe in when your leg is coming away from your tummy, so you're opening up your diaphragm, and to breathe out when your knees are up near your chest, okay? So you're breathing in when you've got space, so when the knees go away, and you're breathing out when you don't have so much space. Okay, so starting in your level 1, 2, or 3, so I'm going to breathe in, breathe out, in, out. So doing whichever level is challenging for you. So I'd rather that you'd had a go at doing 2 or 3 of level 3 and then have to drop back to level 2 than staying in your comfort zone at level 2. So have a go at challenging yourself a little bit more with this one. Excellent, well done. So we've just got one more round with the dead bug. So again, as you're just lying here, just have a little feel of what part of your back is in contact with the ground and not, you know, make sure you're even, you haven't got one shoulder off, one shoulder on. Okay, so just use a little bit of time while you're resting here, just to see where you're grounded. Okay, getting ready again. Okay, this is our last round of the dead bug. See if you can time that breathing. Don't forget to keep your core muscles on and that lower back in touch with the ground. That's it. on your side. So we're going to roll onto your side. Now you can either be down with your head supported on the pillow or cushion or by your hand, or you can prop your head up on your hand. I don't mind whatever's most comfortable for you. So your bottom leg is bent, okay? Your top leg is straight. Now with the top leg, you're going to slide it back as well, so you're really open at your hip, okay? Pull your toes up towards your shin, and then we're doing side leg lifts up to the ceiling, okay? Now I recommend that you are going to start with your weakest leg on top, okay? So if you want to position yourself with your weakest leg on top so that we get to work it twice. Important things here is making sure that you're not here and lifting in front with a flexed hip. So this hip needs to be straight behind you to lift up here, okay? Now, that's what we can do for our level 1. If you need to have a rest between each one, you can. Level 2, you're going to try and not put your foot down in between each one. And if you want a little bit more of a challenge, okay, if that's a bit easy, level 3, which is a bit of a challenge on your core. Oh, there we go, I'm rolling around, can't quite do it. Okay, so you're going to have both legs straight and stay exactly on your side without using your hands to support you. And what you'll notice is that just like that, you tend to fall backwards or forwards. So I'm going to start with level 2. And we're going to get going in a couple of seconds. So positioning yourself comfortable here. Okay, take the leg back, and we're going up and down. So we're trying not to rest the leg if you can. So that's your level 2. So remember, I want you to think about challenging yourself a little bit. Okay. For some of you, it will be quite a stretch if you've copied my position on the arm. For me, I find this is a pretty good stretch for my lats, hence why I tend to do this exercise in this position. So I stretch out my rib cage a little bit as well. So I'm really squeezing my glute to do this exercise. Beautiful. So either roll over or swing round. I'm going to swing round so that I'm facing you guys. You can roll over and you can position yourself exactly the same on the other side. Okay, now you might find that one shoulder can't go in this position. So as I say, you might have your head down and supported. So bottom leg bent, top leg straight, and then slide that top leg slightly behind you. Okay, so we're really working these glute muscles. Getting ready, off we go. So we're going up and down, engaging these glutes. Again, if you can think about pulling your belly button to your spine, engaging your core muscles, do just keep checking that this leg, top leg hasn't crept forwards. Keep making sure that it is going up behind you. Well done. So last one. So in theory, if you had your weakest leg on top, so you're going rolling back over again to do the next one. Okay. So just getting yourself in position for this one here. Okay, so top leg is just back behind you. Okay, and then you can have your hands on your hip, feeling that hip's going to roll forwards and backwards or not. So last round. Up and down, so we're going up and down. Good. Up and down here. Really checking that you are keeping that core engaged. Okay, and keeping that leg back behind you. Good. A few more. Beautiful, well done. Okay, have a drink if you need to. And our last one on the floor is going to be on hands and knees. Okay, so we're going to go into hands and knees position. So your hands are directly underneath the shoulders, okay? Knees are underneath the hips. So level 1, what you're doing is taking your legs straight out behind you. So we're doing leg lifts today. And we're going to alternate one leg with the other. Now what I don't want to see is your pelvis swing all the way off to one side. You're trying to imagine that you've got something balanced at the top of your pelvis there. So when you're changing between right side to left side, okay, that you stay nice and stable. So that's level 1. Make sure you don't hyperextend the elbows, okay, so don't want any locked elbows. Elbows should be slightly bent, okay. But if you want a little bit more of a challenge, if that is a bit too easy for you, we're going to come and do a forearm plank. So you're going to come down now onto your elbows and your knees. So you're in a nice flat line, so you don't keep your bum up in the air, thumbs down. And what we're going to do is the same, we're going to do a leg lift. But now we're balancing on elbows and knees in a nice straight line. And what you'll feel here is that you have to use a lot more core stability to do that. Okay? So I'm going to start the first round with level 1, and then you can, if you want to, you can do level 2 to start with. Okay, or you can do level 1 and join me with level 2 on the second round. This is our last round on the floor. Okay, so getting into position. Good, so going for a left and behind. Now you can be flat down on your palms. Okay, I've got a little bit of sore wrist at the moment, so I've actually chosen to be flat on my knuckles. So if you just see that there might be a bit of a difference there, that's what's going on here. But flat down on palms, okay, if you can. Getting that nice leg lift, straight knee right out behind you, reaching that heel nice and far behind you. Beautiful. So level 1, okay, you can carry on with doing it on your hands. With the rest, you can come back and sit back on your feet. So I've just got my toes underneath me, so I'm giving my big toes a little stretch. And level 2, you're going to come down onto your tummy to start this one. So you're joining with level 2. Come down onto your tummy and have your elbows back behind your shoulders. Okay. And you're going to push up, absolutely balancing on knees and elbows, and we're going to take one leg out at a time. This is our level 2. So you can either stay on level 1 or go on to level 2. Good, we've got 10 seconds to go. Beautiful, and relax there. So if you're doing the level 2, you can just relax onto the tummy. If you're doing the level 1, you can relax back onto your feet, like we did just a moment ago. Okay, if you're level 2, you can give that lower back a little bit of a stretch here by doing popping the elbows. So we've got one last round here on the ground, guys. So again, try and do something that is challenging. So even if you just start in level 2 and then have to finish off with level 1, that's great if you're going to go. Okay. So going for that leg lift here. Think about keeping that belly button pulled up to that spine. We've got 15 seconds. Beautiful, and rest there. Okay, so you can just stay on the floor for a moment, or you can come and sit in the chair, whatever is comfortable. I'm just going to give my hips a little stretch and sit cross-legged while I talk to you about the about challenge again. So the tricky part of the challenge that I find working with an adult population, because I'm an adult neurophysio, that's in comparison to being pediatric neurophysio, is that as adults, we don't necessarily like failure. We don't like to be challenged and pushed out of our comfort zones. Because through our schooling systems and then into work and on, we're used to trying to get 80%, we're used to marks about A grades and B grades and achieving high percentages. So to actually adequately train the body and to challenge is that you need to be doing an exercise that nearly 50% of the time you're actually getting it wrong. For example, if you're doing a one-leg balance exercise, that means, one time you're able to hold it for 10 seconds, and then the next time you're only able to hold it for a couple of seconds, and then you lose your balance and put your hands down. Now, a lot of people would then quite quickly go, oh, this is just too difficult and I can't do it. That, well, yes, because giving it a go is going to challenge your nervous system, okay, and your physiological system more to create that training adaptation. So I can't emphasize enough that it is often the lack of challenge in people's daily exercise routines or weekly exercise routines that is holding them back from their potential. So ultimately, everyone has potential, okay, to change, but it's often when you look back at how much you're really challenging yourself. So take that on a little bit of food for of what your current exercise program is, and reflect about how much of it is challenging, how much of it are you only actually getting a 50% success rate at. And if you're getting 100% success rate all the time, I can definitely tell you that you are nowhere near where your potential could be. All right, so the next round we are doing back up and standing. So take time to come back up. And we're doing this in standing. Now I'm going to do it with facing the camera. I'm just going to tilt you up again. So I've got a little bit more of knee in, okay. I'm going to do it facing the camera. But what you guys can do is have your chair in front of you for some support, okay? So what we're doing here is a side lunge. So I'm going to go side step out, and then I'm going to bend over the outside leg. And then I'm going to step in, big side step out, bend over the outside leg, come in. So if you need some support, chair or table or something like sturdy, keep one hand on that support, okay? All right. We have got our 3 up to 30 seconds of this. So use the support as needed. Okay, I'm just going to put my hands in the hips so they're out of the way. So we're looking at taking as long a stride as you can, and then bending that front, sorry, that outside leg, sticking that bottom backwards. So I'm doing a little forward lean, okay, at the hips, thumb is sitting down. So I feel this is quite a big stretch in my adductors, so that kind of inside muscle around the groin, down to the inside of the knee. Good, and stop there. Well done. So if you've got your chair here, you can just hold on to your chair and have a little rest, okay? You just a little bit of back bends, side bends, okay, and just swing the hips if needed, just to loosen you up a little bit. Okay, I'm just a quick look. Okay, getting ready? 5 seconds to go, exactly the same too. Okay, so nice big stride. Okay, and try and keep the tempo up, okay? So we'll try and keep this heart rate up now for the next few exercises. So we're finishing off with a bit of a cardio burn, okay? So see if you can keep this on. Now, if you're really game, you can do a jump change, okay? If you're really game here. But otherwise, we're just going to walk it out nice and quick, trying to get as far out as you can. Beautiful. A couple of deep breaths. And we've got one more round of that. Okay. And then we've got a leg exercise. Oh no, then we've got an arm exercise, and then we're finishing off with a leg exercise. Okay, another 15 seconds of rest. All right, so do see if you've got a support there that you've been using, see if you can hobble your hands over. Okay, we're off again. So last one, off the side lunge. If you're like me and you're on a mat, your challenge could be when you step off the side, each side of the mat, just to make sure that you're taking an even, large step on both sides. Good, last 5 seconds. Beautiful, well done. Okay, so last cardio one, we're going to do our speed box. Okay, so do this one from side. So we're boxing out as fast as we can. We're just going to go straight forward for the first round. Second and third rounds, we'll do something a little different. Okay, so not much rest. We'll try and get that heart rate up. This last little bit. Okay, off we go. So nice, fast Boxing, try and keep the core muscles on so you're not wobbling around at your hips too much. Okay, really nice, quick pace. Good, we've got 10 seconds to go. Go on, keep it up as quick as you can. Excellent, well done. Okay, so next round we're going to do a speed ball. Okay, so I want you to do the speed ball about shoulder height, kind of 90 degrees, kind of just in front of your chin, really. Now, if you've got sore shoulders and you can't do the speed ball here, you can just do the speed ball down at your tongue. Okay? We're going to change the direction repeatedly, so just start with whichever direction you want to, and we'll change. Good, so going really nice and fast. Round to go, make sure you don't pop yourself in the chin. Okay, change direction. Good, change direction. Going really nice and quick. Change direction. Going really fast. Change direction again. We've got 10 seconds to go. Go on, keep it going. Change. Change again. Last little bit. Beautiful. Okay. Now, for the third round, you can choose. You can either go straight out in front. You can do the speed ball, or you can come over at a bend here, and we're going to box to the opposite knee. Now, important with the bend, I haven't rounded and I'm not doing this. I've kept the arch of my lower back is stuck, my bottom out, so my back has stayed flat as I do this. Okay, this is a really good glute strengthener as well. Good, so off we go, nice and fast. So I'm boxing down to the opposite knee, really pulling those elbows back. And we're going with pace. Got a real last cardio bit. That's halfway. Ten to go. Whew. Well done, grab a drink. We've got one last exercise. Okay, what I recommend here, guys, is that you take your chair, okay, to be side on. So we're going to do a forward lunge. So you stand just slightly back from the chair, fingertips can be on the chair. You take a nice big step forward, and then you're going to drop your knee directly down, up, and then back, and then we alternate. Now what it's not, I haven't come here, and then I haven't done this. I haven't sent my front knee forwards. That's not a lunge, that's going to end up hurting your knee, okay? So the lunge is a big step, and then you're going to drop straight down. So you see here that my knee hasn't gone in front of my foot, it just comes here. And ideally, the back knee should just be hovering a couple of inches off the ground. Now, you may find you might only get to here, that's okay. Coming back up, stepping back. But if you do have it available that you can come to an inch off the ground and back up, that's great. And do note, to help you stay in balance, think about two tram lines. So when you step forward, you keep those legs apart. What you're not doing is stepping in line and then trying to lunge there. It's A, you're going to be off balance, but B, going mechanically, that's not very good for hips and knees. Okay, so setting yourself up. So we're going to alternate right and left, so it doesn't matter which leg goes first. Okay. So something's there for balance if needed, or you can have hands on hips. So big stride out, drop your knee down, up, and step back. Okay? And then alternating legs. The same. The chair is there as you need it. If you don't need it, you can go hands on hips. And you're trying to work through this reasonably quickly. Okay? So A, it's hard work on the legs, but B, just keeping that heart rate up just for the last little bit of this program. Beautiful, stop there. So you've only got 2 lots of 30 seconds left, and then we're ready for a cool down. Now we're going to start a little bit more forwards at the front of the chair, and we're going to step back, lunge, step forward. So we're going to do a backwards lunge. It's the same principle. Back knee is dropping down, front knee is not going forwards over the foot. Hold on as you need to. Get ready? Good. And we're going back lunge, down and up, and then you step forwards. Okay, so the trick with the back lunge is getting your step as far back as you can. This is good. Well done, team. Got last few seconds. Excellent. Well done. We've got one more round. Now I'm going to go back to doing the forward lunge. But you can choose whichever one you found more challenging. So either into the forward step and drop down, or doing the back step and dropping down. Okay. So it's our last bit of hard work. 30 seconds worth. Let's really go for it, and then we can have a bit of a stretch just to finish off. Okay, getting ready. Off we go. Down and up. Good. This is good. So you're trying to keep the pace up. Well, I say hold on if needed. Got last 5 seconds. Let's go for it. All right, give yourself a round of applause. That was your 9 exercises done. Okay, so we're going to go for a little cool down. So we'll start off with just a calf and hip flexor stretch. So just into that lunge position there, heels flat on the ground. Now you can bend your front knee forward, and you're looking for a stretch off the back of the back leg, but also probably in the hip flexor of the leg extended. And we're just going to take some nice deep breaths here as we drop that heart rate back down. Well done. I've definitely got a sweat on. We've shut all the windows and doors to try and make it a little bit more sound sensitive for the recording, but I definitely feel that over the next 4 weeks, as we get closer to the Christmas sunshine, that will just change legs. We'll have to be in more similar. It's going to be very hot at this end. Okay, so swap those legs over, we're just holding that stretch. Anything you feel particularly tight is worth spending a bit longer stretching on after this session, so especially if you're feeling tightness in these hip flexors at the front. Okay, so if you're tight hip flexors, you're not going to be taking the stride length that you should be capable of taking. Beautiful. Now, if you can, holding on, we're going to do a quad stretch. You can either grab your ankle, or you might just grab the trouser leg. What's important is I don't want anyone in this position. Okay, you're going to do this one. You must be able to push those hips forward and then bring your heel to your bottom. Okay, and otherwise, if you're just holding a trouser leg, okay, you're still standing up nice and upright. Beautiful. As we finish these little stretches off, if anyone does have any questions from today, I'm just turning around to the other side. You can quickly pop a chat note into the live session. So you can send me a little chat message and I can answer any questions that come through there. Otherwise, you can email me any questions at Gilly, Gilly, at ns-ghs.com. Okay, and if any questions come through, I'll endeavour to answer that in the next recording. So we've got 4 more weeks of our Wednesdays at 9:30. Check it out. We're just going to do that adductor stretch. So again, if you want to have a chair or table in front, we're going to go nice wide legs. We're just going to bring it over one knee. So we're just stretching through that adductor there. Beautiful. Changing legs over to the other side. Good. Come to the middle. Bend your knees as needed and bring your hands down towards the ground. Okay, you might be nowhere near the ground. That's okay. Just do what you can do. And then using your hips and your glutes, come up nice and tall. Bring those legs in. And just take an arm across you. Okay, stretching out that shoulder. Shake it out. Take the other arm across. Good. Shake it out. And then we're going to reach the arm back behind the head. Take hold of that elbow. With that elbow, nice pull towards. Make sure your chin's up off the chest. Shake that out. Last one. And excellent. So well done, team. That is halfway through our 8 weeks. Fantastic for those who have joined us live. It's been good. As I say, it's been hot. Someone has just sent a message through. Unfortunately, it looks like there's been a bit of the live link's been a bit hit and miss. So in the sense of some of the connectivity, maybe on people's ends weren't going quite so well if there was a bit of a lag. Don't worry, the recording always comes through without any lag. So if it was a bit hit and miss your end, I'm sorry about that. But the recording, which will be loaded up, if not by the end of today, tomorrow, will all be in time, so you can have the joys of doing this exercise program again. So again, apologies if anyone did have a lag. We've got lots of people thanking, which is lovely, and I very much look forward to seeing as many of you online next week, and obviously lots of people can access this recording later. So have a wonderful day, everyone, and remember, challenge yourself with your exercise program. All right, take care. Bye.